Hi, this is Darcy from Food for Your Life, Food for Your Soul, and I wanted to do a quick video about making your own organic fertilizer. So for the longest time, I have been taking things like coffee grounds and banana peels and eggshells and various things, out in our compost pile. But I think recently I decided, well, let's try to do a home mixture that I might be able to add to, let's say, for instance, my greenhouses that are primarily aquaponics based. And so what I did is I took the used coffee grounds that obviously were pretty moist and wet because, I made coffee with them. And then I put them on my silicone fruit leather trays in my dehydrator to kind of re-dry out the grounds so that they don't mold. And then on top of that, I had been collecting eggshells where I just basically wash them out after I break them open and put them in a little Ziploc bag. And then when I was ready, put them in my fridge. And then when I was ready, I'd take them out and put them on my fruit leather trays again in my dehydrator and dehydrate them. And for the banana peels, I would do the same. I would, after I'd eat the banana, I just basically chop up the peel into smaller bits and then throw those on my dehydrating trays too and dehydrate that way. And so, and then I'd kibble those in my coffee grinder. And the same thing with the eggshells, I powder them in the coffee grinder. And of course the coffee grounds were pretty well ground, so I didn't have to deal with those. So I put those three ingredients, and then I'd also take some Epsom salt, any regular Epsom salt you can pick up at one of those lovely box stores, and I would put those in my coffee grinder just to get them into smaller chunks. In addition to the Epsom salts, I would then add baking soda, and then for a final ingredient, I had bone meal that I made from my bone broth bones. And so basically after I would make some bone broth, I would take the bones and then I would dehydrate them again on my dehydrator just to kind of dry them out. And they would be pretty brittle, but I would either use my mortar and pestle to kind of break them up and powder them some more, or the tougher bones that were a little bit harder, I'd take a small hammer on a cutting board and kind of bang them up that way and then kind of crush them up. I didn't want to put those in my coffee grinder just because of them being bone. I didn't want them to necessarily dull my blades. So the combination of those ingredients is you'd have the coffee grounds that would provide nitrogen, the bone meal from the bone broth bones that basically becomes your phosphate source, and the banana peels your calcium, so you have your NPK right there. And then I would add in the calcium, which would be from my eggshells, but also some from my baking soda, and then with that magnesium being from the Epsom salts. So those ingredients together, you could kind of add them in any bit of combinations, but mixing those together, I kind of hope to make a homemade fertilizer that gets sprinkled around plants, or maybe just add into the water in my aquaponic system, that over time the water would kind of leach out those things from the solid materials into my system to give nutrients to my plants, and hopefully would not be very harmful to my fish because of course they're all natural ingredients. So that's just an idea, and I'm going to post a picture here so you can kind of see what I came up with. I didn't mix it yet, but I just kind of put it in layers in a mason jar for you to see. And anyways, so there you have it. Hopefully this is some helpful information that you can kind of use for your future gardening task, especially if you don't want to buy commercial fertilizer, or if you are living on the frugal end of things and you want to be able to use things that you already have to kind of have a zero waste environment, let's say in your kitchen, that you can kind of reuse these things. So they're not a total loss to you in your garden, and kind of keep things at a zero waste consistency. But anyways, guys, God bless.